What is up, everybody? My name is Kyle. You're watching Boat Breakers, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Carnival's Cheers package. There are lots of changes every year with the Carnival's Cheers package, and in this video, we're going to be going over the changes, the pros, the cons, and some tips and tricks that not everyone knows. Even the most seasoned Carnival cruisers don't know some of the tips and tricks that we're going to share. So let's dive right into the video. Before we get really into the nitty gritty, I definitely want to just talk about a general overview and make sure we're all on the same page when it comes to the Cheers package. Carnival offers the Cheers package at two different prices. You have your pre-cruise price, which is $83, and then you have your onboard the cruise price, which is around $89. So you do save about 10% if you book beforehand. And you can lock in that 10% savings up until midnight before your embarkation day. So you don't have to book it as soon as you book your cruise. You have until midnight the day before your cruise to lock that price in. So let's talk about what's included in the drink package. And the most important thing is you are allowed up to 15 drinks. That's correct, 15 drinks per day. And it starts at 6 a.m. and it ends at 6 a.m. So your time is at 6 a.m. when your drink counter restarts, and you're allowed up to 15 drinks. And I'm not going to be here to tell you if 15 drinks is too many or too little for a person, but that is what Carnival has decided. And they have done that with safety in mind, so you're not going to be drinking too much where you might fall overboard or get too sick or get into a fight. They have just said 15 drinks is your ceiling for when you are on board a Carnival cruise ship. But there might be some ways around that, which we may or may not get into, so stick around, stay tuned. So you are allowed to have your 15 drinks, and they are capped at a $20 value. So let's do a quick look over a couple of bar menus to make sure we kind of get an understanding of what's included in that $20 price range. On their website, they explain that all spirits, cocktails, beer, and wine by the glass up to $20 are included. And you also have some non-alcoholic options like sodas, zero proof cocktails, energy drinks, specialty coffee, bottled water, and tea. And just to clarify, it is just 15 alcoholic drinks. And I see a lot of questions on this, so I'm going to clarify this. You are allowed to have 15 alcoholic drinks for the day, but you can have unlimited non-alcoholic drinks with the Cheers package. So if you want to have 20 milkshakes, you might have diabetes, but you can totally have 20 milkshakes. If you want to have 15 cocktails and 12 coffees and a couple Red Bulls because you want to power through your time change, if you flew in that day, you can do that. You can have as many bottles of water or cans of soda as you want. So it is truly unlimited for non-alcoholic. It's just the alcohol where they limit you. On Carnival cruises, beers range from $7 to $10. Cocktails range from $12 to $14. Shots can span a pretty wide range, starting from $8, but can go upwards of $25 per shot, depending on what you're drinking, of course. And wine averages around $13 a glass. So basically, with those prices in mind, let's dive into if the drink package is worth it for you and what are the pros and cons. Now, a lot of people watching this video will just want a straight up answer, is the drink package worth it? And that answer is, it depends. Depends on what cruise you're going on and what ship you're going on. So when I say what cruise you're going on, I mean, are you stopping in a private island? So if you're sailing to the Caribbean and you're going to one of Carnival's private islands, the Cheers package does not work on the private island. So essentially you're having an entire day ripped away from being able to use the drink package, and like that in any port. So if a majority of your cruise is going to be on land and you're not having that many sea days, it really might not be worth it just for that reason, because you are still paying that flat $83 or $89 per day, and you might not be able to be on that ship for 10 to 12 hours that day if you are in port for that entire day doing excursions or whatever have you. Also, what ship you're sailing on can play a major factor. Older ships like the Conquest class or the Fantasy class only has maybe 5 to 6 bars on the entire ship, whereas if you go on the newer Excel class ships, you have 12 plus bars. So there's certain bars that give an amazing experience on the XL class. They have new things like smoked cocktails, and they'll put things in a front decanter, and it is an actual experience just ordering a drink. Like, yes, you're there to have fun and maybe get a little lit, but they do their presentation in a really cool way. Whereas the older ships, you have the good old trusty Alchemy bar, but that's pretty much the only cool bar that you're going to. And if you're on that same ship for a week, you could get kind of tired of just the same old menu. And if you're on a newer ship, you can go bar hopping, bar crawling. So that's just something to think about as well. So I have this tool that I use, and I'll leave the link in the description. It's basically a drink calculator, and it tells you everything that you need to know if the drink package is worth it for you or not. So on the drink calculator, it has beers listed at $8 a day, cocktails at $14 a day, glasses of wine at $10 a day, and non-alcoholic drinks at $3.50 a day. So you can play with this tool as much as you want. So honestly, the wine and cocktails are a little low compared to the average price nowadays, which might even make it more beneficial to get the drink package. But say you're hanging out by the pool and you want to have 2 cocktails a day, maybe you'll have a glass of wine at dinner, and then you want to have 3 to 4 bottles of water. I'll say 4. That would bring us to $52. So those 3 alcoholic drinks plus 4 waters, so 1 every couple of hours, leads you to $52, which is way under the $80 one. But if you are a little bit more heavy of a drinker and say you have 4 or 5 cocktails, a glass of wine per dinner, so that gets you 7 alcoholic, you're at a little over $100. So it depends on how much you drink, if you think the drink package is worth it or not for you. On average, if you drink 6 to 7 drinks a day, the drink package pays for itself, even at these new prices that Carnival has listed. So keep that in mind. The general rule of thumb is 7 drinks. If you're drinking over that, you should definitely get the drink package, but that is per day. So if you're gonna be on land for most of day 2 or day 3, and you don't think you're gonna get 7 drinks in because you'll be drinking on the beach somewhere in the Bahamas versus staying on board, that is also a big factor. So it's 7 drinks a day to break out even for the course of your cruise. So if you made it this far in the video, chances are you're probably thinking the drink package is for you. So let's dive into how to maximize the drink package, and then we'll get into the pros and cons of the drink package. Carnival, like I said, cuts you off at 15 drinks. However, if you do have drinks left over in the day, and maybe the following day you're going to a beach and you want to drink on the beach, you can go and get a canned beer or canned seltzer and ask them not to open it and serve it to you. So you can go to a few restaurants like the pizza place, the deli at night. These all have canned beverages that you can ask them not to open when they give it to you, and you can bring it, put it in your fridge, and you can have it for the following day, which might be extremely beneficial if you're getting off the ship. Also, say you might just be a little too lit and you had 12 drinks. You can go to the pizza place that closes at 3 p.m. after the club lets out, and you can get one of those canned cocktails, one of those beers, one of those seltzers, whatever you want to call it, and you can bring it back with you, or you can wait 5 minutes and get another one. And we'll talk about the 5-minute rule in a couple of minutes. We'll get to that, I promise. But the point of the story is you can get canned beverages from the restaurants that are open late night and bring them to your room for the next morning, just to make sure you're leaving with your money's worth. Also, because some people forget to hydrate when they're on vacation, when you're in the main dining room, you can ask for a big bottle of water and they will give it to you. This bottle's like 1.5 liters, and you really only need to drink about half of it to stay hydrated for the whole day, and they'll give it to you included in your Cheers package. And I think it's a little expensive if you were to do that without the Cheers package. So just note, if you want to maximize, you can ask for 1 per person. So sometimes when I have a group of 4 or 5 friends and we're sitting at the main dining room, we get all of these big bottles of water and we share them throughout our friend group. We'll pour bottles of water into glasses and we'll just wake up, have a glass of water in our balcony, and try to recover from the previous night. Another tip that I feel like not everyone knows is you can upgrade the liquor in your drinks for pretty much no additional charge. As long as it stays under $20, Carnival Cruise Lines doesn't care. The bartenders don't really care, and especially if you're tipping, they definitely don't care. A lot of Carnival standard drinks have more mid-shelf liquors, like 1800 for tequila or Sky Vodka. And if you want, say, a vodka seltzer, they're gonna give you maybe Tito's or Sky, and you can ask them to just give you Grey Goose instead. So you're getting a more premium product and there's no additional cost to you. So if you like to do shots, don't do the shots of 1800, do the shots of Patron or Patron Añejo, because these are all under $20 and you can get a better product for when you're drinking. Another thing worth noting is that the Cheers beverage package works on the last day. So when you're getting ready to de-embark and go home, you can go to the coffee shop, the specialty coffee shop. You can get yourself a coffee. You can spike that coffee if you want because they do have alcohol in the specialty coffee restaurant. And you can have a little bit of fun. Just because it's the last day of sailing doesn't mean the party has to stop. Carnival is the fun ship, and you can keep the party rolling even throughout the last morning. All right, this next one, I want you to listen to me carefully because this is a little confusing and this is maybe a little wrong. So do with this information what you will. If you're traveling with spouse, kids, or maybe even just a friend group, you can put the people that drink heavily together in the same room because when you do get the Cheers package, everyone in the same room that is over the age of 21 has to buy the drink package. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to buy the drink package. And unfortunately, for someone who has maybe a wife or a spouse that doesn't drink that much, maybe only does like 3 or 4 drinks a day, and it doesn't make sense for them to get the drink package. So for example, if I'm traveling with my friend and his wife, I can have me and my friend sleep in the same room, book in the same room, and get the Cheers package in the same room, and put the 2 wives who don't really drink in the same room. But then when you get on board, you could switch your rooms with your friend and his wife, and then there's no way to track the drink package there because it is already locked in, you're already on board. So you don't have to pay for everyone. You're basically getting a Cheers package for 4 people for 2. So do with that information what you will, but that is a very good hack. All right, let's dive into the pros, the cons, and the fine print. I like starting off with the negatives so we can end on a positive note, so let's just dive right into the cons. Like I said before, you have to wait 5 minutes in between every time you order a drink with the Cheers package. This way Carnival doesn't really have to worry about people sharing drinks and things like that, so you only get 1 drink every couple of minutes, so you can't order a round of shots and bring it to your group of friends. They want to still make sure that they are a business and they are getting for profit, even though you're paying the set price. They're betting on you not to finish as many drinks as you do, so they want to pace you, and they try to do that by making a 5-minute gap in between drinks, which does stink a little bit. If you're at a crowded bar, unlike other cruise lines, you can't order 2 drinks, so you don't have to wait in that crowd again. Carnival wants you to wait that 5 minutes and then go back up and wait again, which on vacation does suck a little bit. Carnival also does not include everything under the Cheers package. Like we said, you are limited to $20 drinks, but under that $20 drinks, there are exceptions as well, like drinks served in souvenir glasses and anything with Carnival branding, like the shots that they have when they walk around the main dining room. Those are also not included. You have to pay for those out of pocket. So there are some things that you still have to pay for, even if you have the drink package and even if they are under 20 bucks, because you get to have a little keepsake. You might be able to have a little fish with a straw coming out of its mouth. They want to make sure that they're capitalizing on that, and you have to pay extra for those. Also, any buckets of beer or cocktails served in pitchers, so basically big batch cocktails or anything that you can distribute, those are not included because, well, you can distribute them to other people, and Carnival can't have that. Another big con is that room service drinks aren't included. So if you want to hang out on your balcony or in your room, watch a movie, have a beer delivered to you, those will not be included as well. I already kind of touched on this, but private island, your drink package does not work. And the fact that there is no competition, Carnival does charge a little bit of a premium for their cocktails on the private island. So just be wary of that one. You can stay on board the ship, hang out in the pools and get your drinks if you want to maximize your drink package, but if you want to go tan on the beach on a private island, you're going to have to pay for those drinks out of your own pocket. If you want to make your drinks stronger with a double or a floater, those are also not covered. They just won't serve them to you. They'll just straight up tell you no, which is a little unfortunate, but at the same time, you can tip the bartenders, and if you build a good rapport with them, chances are they'll get away with it anyway because they're working for tips at the end of the day, and if those tips are rolling in, they don't really care. Any drink over $20 is not included, and unlike other cruise lines, Carnival only offers a 25% discount on that drink. So for other cruise lines like Royal Caribbean or MSC, say if something's outside of your drink package range, say if I'm getting a really expensive drink that's $25, they would only charge me $5 for the difference from that 20 on other cruise lines. However, Carnival is making you pay 25% off of that $25 drink. So instead of paying $5 if you're on a different cruise line, you're paying like $19 if you're on Carnival, which if you're spending all this money for the drink package to begin with, I feel like they should just make it pay the difference. But what do I know? I just hate my money in my pockets. Let's move over to the pros, because there are a lot of pros when you are purchasing a drink package on vacation. And number one is the peace of mind. You don't have to worry about looking at your stale and signed statement every couple of days, wondering how much money you're spending as you go. Everything's already prepaid for on the cruise, which is really nice. So you just have to sign your name at the end of each drink order. Maybe you do $1 tip on each drink, $2 tip, whatever have you. But for the most part, it's peace of mind and everything's taken care of. You know exactly what you're going to be spending on board. Number two, it starts the minute you get on board. So the minute you get on board, you can walk yourself right to the first bar as soon as you walk on that ship and order a drink, and it is free. Unless you're sailing out of New York or Texas, then you have to still pay because there's local laws and whatever. But for the most part, you are free the first day. The minute you walk on board, everything is taken care of, which is really nice and adds to the peace of mind factor. Up next, you are saving a bunch of money if you drink over 7 drinks a day. If you hit all 15 drinks and say you are just getting a classic cocktail for all 15 of those drinks, that's potentially almost $200 in that one day. So you're saving around $120 a day if you max out each day. I'm not saying shoot for drinking 15. I think you should still be responsible, but it is vacation. If you want to let loose and have a little bit of fun, I'm not gonna be the one to tell you don't do that. I'm not a role model by any means, but that's $120 in savings potentially if you max out every single day. So if you are doing that, it pays for itself literally almost 2 times over. But that's pretty much it. If you have a drink tip that I haven't mentioned, please let me know in the comments. That way you can not only help me, but everyone else watching this video. We're trying to build a community of people. We just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we are gonna give away a cruise for 4 people in the upcoming months. We just have to save up a little bit because, you know, that's really expensive. So maybe getting the drink package and saving a couple $100 a week might be the smart move for us in the meantime. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy and peace.